So today we are going to be ranking the best young calls in the SPFL. Fraser, this is an episode I've been looking forward to. I've been doing some deep research. We've got a big list here. We're going to be putting them into a tier list. But first and foremost, how you doing, Fraser? Glad to see you as ever.
Yes, it's a pleasure. We had a little break. It's been a busy time in our lives.
It's been a busy time.
We were unable to record a podcast last week, but we're back. And we will be back again more regularly in the future. So it's good to be back, and we're excited for this one. You've done a lot of research.
Done a lot of research into this one as well. So we've picked out the players that are under the age of 25 from every single lower league club. Sorry to any Premiership fans in this one. We're not going to focus on you guys today, but we've got a deep dive to come up today. Fraser, is there anything you want to chat about before we get going?
Well, there is actually. We were prior to the camera rolling just discussing the quality of some absolute worldies.
My goodness.
In Scottish football of late.
Like League One in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Watching the highlights. Obviously the SPFL do their lower league roundup, something that we find quite a useful tool to use. Saves us having to look up every single team on YouTube. It's been full of bloody wonder goals recently. Have you got any favourites from this?
I did thoroughly enjoy Ross Cunningham's goal for Kelty Hearts.
What a player as well, that guy is.
Brilliant.
I can't believe he wasn't getting on the pitch for Stirling Albion. Goes back to Kelty, 30 seconds on the pitch, gets the ball edge of the box. Beautiful sort of trivela around top left corner. That was a piece of magic, wasn't it?
Like such little drag back. Is that not drag back? That's not the word. Sort of lift.
Sort of back spin on it, yeah. Yeah,
and then just sort of pinged his right foot trivela outside of the boot, and then just arrowed in the top corner. But there's been some
mental, proper Joga Bonito though. I think that's why we need to address what has been going on recently, because there's been sort of an epidemic of wonder goals, hasn't there?
Epidemic.
Last minute.
That implies it's a bad thing.
Oh.
Sort of influx.
Sort of influx, I don't know.
That's also, I don't know. But anyway, pandemic, epidemic,
whatever they've been taking, these vaccines, getting some wonder goals here. Craig Brown, Montrose. That's up there for me. That was a winner as well, that one as well, last minute.
That was fantastic. And the scenes,
absolute bullet.
Absolute nuts.
Where was it Montrose? Was it at Montrose?
I think so.
Home, yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying the camera for it was a bit...
Yeah. Not to bash anyone who's putting in fantastic work from Montrose, but if they could just move their camera just a little bit to the right in the future, because there's a lovely big light that whenever it pans to the left, there's a bit of glare. But apart from that, it was a good vantage point. You can see the ball fly into the roof of the net. So, but there's been others. Callum, you've introduced me to the Peter Crouch of the lower leagues.
Well, a fun fact as well, Craig Brown, grandson of the Craig Brown as well. You didn't know that coming in before as well. That's your fun fact for the day. Yeah. Former Stirling Uni student, Craig Brown.
Really?
So,
have you met him?
I've not met him, no. Friend of a friend, I've heard of him. Bruni, they'd call him. So full of fun. Yeah, that's right. I don't have any friends myself, but I've got. I know.
You've got contacts.
I've got contacts for other people.
You don't make friends. You make contacts.
Exactly. That's the kind of thing. So
business weird. So
lower league Peter Crouch. I was going with Berbatov. Is Luke Donnelly, of course.
You're going. I think he looks more of a Berbatov. I think he looks more of a Peter Crouch. You're going Berbatov.
Yeah, there's something about Luke Donnelly that he's just got this in him where he can suddenly just create something absolutely magic, which is a pure wonder goal. He went quite, I don't know if viral's the right word, maybe sort of for our athletic sort of standards, he went somewhat viral for a brace that he scored last season. 2 absolutely brilliant goals, very Berbatov-esque. The second one, I thought the sort of dipping volley. Peter Crouch against Stoke, a bit closer in, but for Stoke against Man City, but 2 goals in recent weeks as well that he's added to his repertoire. Unbelievable. The Queen of the South one. Just absolutely embarrassed.
Silky. Just silky.
I presume it would be Stewart in the goal for Queen of the South. Sat him down once. Could have finished off at that point. You remember Mesut Ozil against Ludogorets? A bit like that. Sat him down once. Could have finished then. Sat him down again. Dinged it over him. This was at 0-0 as well. The game's very much, in the balance. It's not like they were 5-0 up last minute. He's trying to have a bit funny. Luke Donnelly, just a cool customer.
That's what you pay to see, really.
This kind of thing shouldn't be happening in the Scottish League One either. Like, this is just pure technique.
That's the kind of thing, if this is going to sound crazy, but if my team loses, but I've seen a goal like that from my team, I'm actually probably quite happy, because that's just gorgeous.
It's about like, did you see Josh Rock hit a 9 darter in the Premier League of darts on Thursday night in Belfast, but he lost his game. He did not care. He's getting
what did he get? Did he get
he gets you win golden darts that are worth like
fair
30 grand or whatever, which is
you will remember that probably much more than he would have if he'd won.
I mean, but Alloa ended up getting the result anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I know what you mean. It's the kind of goal where you're like...
Yeah. But very Ross Stewart, actually.
Yeah.
He actually looks... He kind of...
Similar frame.
Alloa number 9.
Yeah.
Ross Stewart, who actually walked... Well, I ran past him yesterday.
Oh, really?
And I meant to kind of look into it when I got home, because he was in the West End of Glasgow when he plays for Southampton, and I assume they had a game yesterday. Maybe he's injured. I'm not sure. But but he's very sort of similar in build to Ross Stewart, tall, lanky, technical. So maybe a mix between Ross Stewart, Berbatov and Peter Crouch.
I've always been curious why this guy isn't playing for like Real Madrid when you see some of the goals he scores, because he followed that up with this goal against Hamilton as well, where the ball's caught under his feet. I don't even know how you describe it, sort of right foot, left foot, just shimmy around. But it's the fact he just was so cool the whole time. Very Ibrahimovic-esque here as well, you know. We're really like buttering up Luke Donnelly here.
He's gonna get sold to like Hearts.
This was it was the coolest finish. It wasn't like a wonder goal on top corner, but the guy's just like a little like men against boys at that point. But anytime I've seen him play live, I've not seen a huge amount from him, and I presume Alloa fans week in, week out.
Oh no, you didn't need to include that.
I don't know. Where does he get this? Where does he pull this technique from? Though this is the curious case. Someone needs to get him in a lab and work out how this guy ticks, because the goals he sometimes scores are phenomenal. Yeah. And if he did that every week, then.
But there are some football players that they're workhorses. They put in a power of work. They're so key to their team, but they've got no end product. And then you've got some players that they're luxury players and they don't do much out with scoring worldies.
Float around the periphery of things. Well, maybe this will be the start of a good run for Luke Donnelly as the number 9 for Alloa, because he's clearly got that about him, doesn't he? So, but honestly, these goals have been phenomenal, and Premiership as well. We'd go missed to not mention that goal. Was it Pretoria, wasn't it? Ethan Hamilton. Oh. It's two wonder goals that guy scored recently.
Yeah, that one in Pretoria especially was just. It's more the fact as well. There's nothing better than a wonder goal, like a pile driver from outside the box after they've already kind of beaten a player or two. Like it's all well and good when a ball drops to someone and you just stick the laces through, and it's like, very good. Okay, you swung your foot at it. Ethan Hamilton took it by the defender, sort of almost went backwards, and then just swung his left foot. That's a disrespect to him as well. Swung his left foot at it though, and right off the underside of the bar, so phenomenal. I
know, loved it. Well, we've not seen the highlights from this weekend. Maybe there's been some more wonder goals coming in by the time.
There's one we've not mentioned.
Yusuf Chamiti.
Well, that's in live time. We could have done live commentary, and that was absolutely phenomenal. But Dylan Forrest, Thiago.
This is possibly the best one of the lot for Peterhead.
I love that, because that's kind of strike you don't see very often at all in Scottish football. It's not quite like Thiago, where it's like you're not even sure if it's hit the grass or not.
Yeah,
it did take. I think it took one bounce, but that day you can't beat a daisy cutter.
Daisy cutter, yeah. So the ball dropped out. What was it? 25 yards out.
More, 45. Probably 50.
Absolutely levered it with this beautiful daisy cutter technique, and just no lift on it. Just beautiful. Thiago Alcantara, as you say, past East Fife. They were happy to get Rory Adams back in goal. He wasn't getting near that. No, East Fife on this honking run at the minute, but there was no stopping that. What a goal to open up the scoring in that one.
Something a bit different for a worldie as well. It's not.
Well, we've had a nice mix. The Ross Cunningham one, Trivella. We've seen a daisy cutter. We've seen a bit of everything.
Yeah, just seen a banger. That looks like there's a second there, Callum.
Oh my goodness.
This guy absolutely loves it.
Well, the Old Firm's on in the background here, but we're here to talk.
We're doing a live watch.
We're here to talk about the lower leagues. We're not getting into that territory. Don't worry. But Fraser, should we jump into the episode?
I would love to. Yeah.
Run the intro.
You're a long way from home. This is Brazil.
James McFadden scores for Scotland. The afternoon belongs to Lewis Vaughan. Make it 3. It's 3-0.
Okay, Callum, so here we've got an encyclopedia of Scottish Championship, League 1, League 2 teams and their young players.
So the parameters for this, it's players that the clubs own that are under the age of 25. So it's basically their young core. A lot of clubs, obviously, we know what lower league Scottish football don't have their players under contract for next season just yet. So this is going to be a bit of, I feel like it's all weighed up together, isn't it, Fraser? Sort of pound for pound, the quality they have quality they've got under contract, and sort of meeting in the middle for 5 different tiers. So the tiers, we've made them up this time. We're not going for the traditional S, A, B, C. That'd be too boring. We've gone for tier 1, goldmine. Tier 2, ones to watch. Tier 3, potential assets. This is like a nice mix here, potential assets. 4, we're on to the scraps. And 5 is Dad's Army.
Yeah.
And we're going to be putting every single lower league team into one of these tiers. And we're going to go through, should we start at the Championship? And we're going to go through an alphabetical order.
Yeah, I would go Championship. I would say, we should say that some players will not appear in this list because they're obviously, well, they're on loan at these clubs. For example, Ollie White. I said to you, Callum, where is Ollie White in this list? You said Fraser.
He'd be on the Motherwell list if we had Motherwell.
He would be, exactly. Yeah. So, if you're confused as to why we've not discussed a certain player, it may be for that reason.
Also, some information can be limited on the internet. We've done our best to pull this all together, so there might be a few. It wouldn't be a Joga Bonito episode without a few inaccuracies in there. We'll apologise next week, but we're going to go through these lists, and we're going to start off with Airdrie then. So Airdrie, having a look at their squad, 1 player under contract for next season, Craig Ross, talented defender, was formerly at Stranraer. Otherwise, their boys are all out of contract in the summer. Fraser, is there any names that jump out there that you want to touch on?
I mean, they've got some real quality.
It's a young squad, Airdrie.
Yeah, Chris Mockery, Rhys Armstrong, Dean McMaster, Cole McKinnon, so Cade Melrose as well has played a wee bit in goals. Had some difficult moments this season, but certainly a lot of talent. So, and they've got many more as well. So, they look like they've got a strong young setup. I would imagine with the way their season's looking at this point, they look like they're trending upwards.
I don't know about that. It's going to be tight down the bottom of that Championship, so they'll probably wait and see where their future's going to lie. But in that core of players, they do have contracts going out. The likes of Chris Mockery, he's so talented. Cole McKinnon midfield, Dean McMaster, even the Williams brothers on loan at Edinburgh City. Yeah, had some good accounts from them as well. So I think they go into ones to watch.
I would say so. Yeah.
Mostly if they had more of these, if you had Chris Mockery under contract for next season, Rhys Armstrong, a player that I'm former Caledonian Brave, of course, Rhys Armstrong, someone that kept an eye on. But I think Airdrie just about make their way in. I feel they're sort of teetering on the 3rd tier as well, but some of those players that they do get them under contract. But it's a young squad.
I'm confident that they'll stay up, and if they do, I think they look like they're trending in the right direction. And a lot of these young players, if they don't get bigger moves, like I think they'll sign on, and Airdrie will have a stronger season next season. So.
I'm not sure if they stay up though.
You're not.
I'm not sure.
Big win yesterday. So.
Big win for them yesterday, but I'm not sure it's going to be tied down there. So
that is true.
We'll touch on some of these teams to come up, but Queen's Park picked up some results recently as well, so they've made it interesting, and I'm not sure if Airdrie will quite keep touch with some of the teams down there, but we'll see.
We will. Yeah, no, it's interesting. Very interesting.
Our next team,
Arbroath. There's not a huge amount here. I think they have to go into Dad's Army.
I think they go into Dad's Army, but that's fine because Arbroath's goal right now isn't to be getting all these young players in. Jack Wilkie, shout out to his good self. He's a player I'm a big fan of, and Dapper Mabudi and Harry Cochrane, the other two, both 24 years old, so just fit into the criteria, but they've not really got a squad.
But they've got young managers, so if we're doing a young manager tier list, then they would go into the ones to watch potentially. But in this case, they've not got a huge number of young players, but they're quality, the ones that they have.
Yeah, and they're decent players there. So we'll move on to our next team, and obviously all the experience they've got to supplement that Arbroath, but Dad's Army rightfully take their place. And we should also say, if you're in scraps or Dad's Army, it's not the worst thing in the world as well. It just might show that your priorities are somewhere else. And Arbroath are one of the best teams in the Championship this season. Exactly. Most consistent teams, it's fair to say as well. United, then I'll let you take this one away.
Yeah, so they have Scott Tomlinson and Ollie Eckerpont contracted to the summer. They're on loan at Dumbarton. Ollie Eckerpont not quite.
No, you've not done too many favours to Dumbarton, really.
Yeah. Scott Tomlinson, though, he's had a really productive start to the campaign. I don't know if he's been up to much in the last couple of months, but certainly he's been a really bright spark for Dumbarton. So
something that I was unaware of was that Dylan Watcher at Marcus and Ethan Walker all signed up till 2028 as well. Yeah. 2 seasons. That's really good business from them.
Ayr United they've got a great thing going on off the park. They're very well run. David Smith's done brilliantly. So to get players like Ethan Walker, Marco Roos, Dylan Watcher as well, they're obviously big assets. So the fact that they're contracted till 2028 is good. So for that reason, I think we've put them in the ones to watch category, Callum. Would you agree?
I think we put them into tier 2, yeah. I'm happy with that as well.
Sorry,
Speaking about them.
Yeah.
I think they'll go number 2 because Dylan Watcher, to have him signed up for that long as well, I think out of anyone, he's possibly one with a bit of potential resale value.
And there's a lot, we should say as well, there's a lot of young players that have featured off the bench of late. Jamie Hislop, a lot out on loan as well. So there's a lot more we haven't touched on.
Yeah.
So they've got a good youth academy.
Having those 3, we're big Marco Roos fans, obviously.
Yeah.
Got a lot of potential. Ethan Walker's had a decent season, but Dylan Watcher, I've said to you, I think early take on it. I said to you, he might have Scotland upside maybe one day. Early doors, obviously, but a right back, he's got so much going forward, solid defensively, and
we should say
2 years is huge.
Justin Devaney's younger brother is in the Ayr United youth set up, and I think he was on the bench midweek for Ayr United. So Rocco Devaney, I think is his name.
Devaney, okay.
So keep an eye out for that.
Keep an eye out for him. Right, we'll move on to Dunfermline next, and we're not going to be listing every player here because Dunfermline's entire squad is actually under the age of 25. Quite a few of them out on contract in the summer. You're probably looking at Jeremiah Chicolo Mullen as the one that they'll be really keen to keep hold on. They've obviously been giving him the captain's armband recently as well when Chris Hamilton's not been in the team.
They have
Carl Benedictus, which is a big sort of statement of intent that they want to they want to keep him about. They want him to feel like a leader in that squad. He's one with a question mark over him, but the players they do have under contract till 2028, huge for them. Similar vein to Dylan Watcher there. Another player that will have definite value right now as well in the summer. They'll do well to keep hold of him is Andy Todd, of course, as well. Robbie Fraser, I think he's one of the best players in the league. Generally at left back, I think he can stroll it in as a Premiership player as well, probably already. So lots of talent in there. I think Dunfermline do just go straight into the tier number 1 for this, for how they built the squad.
I think they have to. Yeah, they've got. You spoke on Chiloquoa Mullen, Scotland under 21 international. He's really come onto a game. I always thought he was looked a little bit sketchy maybe a couple of seasons ago and looked like he had a mistake in him, but now he's really pushed on. He's brilliant against Hibs in the Scottish Cup. The Todd brothers, you've got plenty. Robbie Fraser, we discussed Chris Hamilton as well. Brilliant youth sort of set up at Dunfermline there. So I think they have to go in. They've
built this younger squad obviously intentionally as well. I do think there's a few question marks over them, the way the season's continually gone on. They've had a few shaky performances in there, so I'm not saying this young core. I think my hot take right at the start of the season was they could go on and potentially be a team that want to win the league next year. I'm not as certain as on that, but when you are looking through the list of young players on this, for this criteria, it'd be silly to not put them in. We've not even mentioned names. Nardine Abdullahi as well. I think he's another one that's had the odd mistake in him, but he's someone that looks like he can stroll up when he's at his best as well. So, plenty of young talent in that squad.
Exactly, yeah.
Easy pick. Green at Morton up next.
Interesting one. They've got a lot of players under 25 but maybe a little bit older. Zach Delaney, Owen Moffat, Michael Garrity.
Sort of the 24s in there. Only player under contract for next season is young goalkeeper Sam Murdoch. Kept a clean sheet at Stars Park at the end of last season, and I don't think he's not been played. He's not really played this season at all, I don't think. So, not a huge amount of talent that's sort of on the younger side signed up for next season. So, I think maybe scraps for Morton here.
Yeah, let's do it. They do, as you know, it fits our criteria here, under 25, and they've got some really good players. But they're sort of on the precipice of that. James Storer as well.
Big word from you there. No, not bad.
But obviously is he on loan?
He's on loan, down south.
Maybe if they can negotiate a sort of another season, then that would be great.
I'm a big Michael Garrity fan. I've told you that before. He started adding numbers to his game as well, so I think that's big. I think he scored again this weekend. So he's definitely got the numbers in there. Talented player. I think that's sort of enough to get them into scraps. We'll move on next. Partick Thistle.
Boing. Yeah.
Indeed, yeah.
They have to go in top tier.
You put them all the way in, number 1?
Absolutely.
I'm happy with that. I can't dog that.
Aidan Fitzpatrick, Ben Stanley, Cammy Logan, Lewis Budenauskas, Josh Clark, Ben McPherson just signed up.
Josh Clark and Ben McPherson, for me, is probably what tips them into the top tier instead of the second one, because brilliant work to get the business done early as well.
Yeah.
2 boys on loan from Celtic have done so well, and to have them signed up already, we're sat here in early March now, to know that you've got those 2 sort of pillars of their team, whatever division they'll be in, it's looking like St Johnstone, as they have done all season, keeping that little gap. But part of this, we're going to keep it tight until the end of the season, that's for sure. No matter what division they're in, Josh Clark and Ben McPherson have been 2 brilliant players for them. Ben Stanway is maybe the one question mark. It looks like he could be on his way out this summer. A lot of interest in him.
I would imagine so, but if they go up, then that's an easier discussion for them in the contract negotiations. But yeah, I think he's been linked with Aberdeen. So if a team like Aberdeen are coming in, it's likely they would move on. But if they can hold on to him, they've got Swanello Sosa as well, and then players like Rico Diak as well. So yeah, they've got some really good. They've got a good young core, and then they've got their senior heads as well. It just seems to be a really nice blend at Partick Thistle this season. So I think alongside Dunfermline, we'll put them
up there. I think Ben Stanway will also stand up as a player that's a really good sign to young players that are thinking about making the move to club. Even the same with Josh Clark and Ben McPherson showing that they want to commit to Partick Thistle. It shows that it's a place young players can go, and I think this contributes in to having a strong young core. Is that Mark Wilson is clearly showing that Partick Thistle is a good place to go and show your talent. And if Ben Stanway does get that move to an Aberdeen, for example, then what a brilliant sign that is to other players that are maybe thinking about making the move to Firhill. Yeah,
exactly. And good place to go and develop. We've got Ocean Smith as well. He's had a great season, so players that maybe would be looking to make a career in the Premiership, if they're not quite there yet, Partick Thistle's a good place to go and cut your teeth.
Love that.
Fantastic. So move on to Queen's Park now.
Queen's Park, yeah. Another young squad. They've had a bit of a smaller squad throughout the season, which has been sort of held up by a lot of their young players. But Queen's Park, of course, known for their youth system as well. And it's been good to see a lot of those younger players sort of involved in the periphery on the squad.
Yeah, no, they seem to have a nice blend now, and they're picking up a lot of wins and crucial against teams around them as well. So I personally thought Queen's Park were doomed a few weeks ago, but they've proven me wrong with Josh Fowler gone as well. I really feared the worst, but they've shown that they've got a bit of dog in them.
They have, yeah.
It's certainly not over, and they've got some really good, like Roddy McGregor, Seb Drodds. I didn't even know he was under 25.
Yeah. Still a young player.
Harry Fieldson, good players. Tyrese McDonald as well. So Michael Ruth as well. Some really good young players. And I don't. Where did we decide?
Queen's Park. I think they're going to go into the second tier. I think that's fair. Ones to watch. No, I agree with you there. I think what they needed to do was add that experience quality to the squad, which they've obviously used. I don't know if it's the money from Josh Fowler or if they just had a bit of wiggle room when it came to January, because they've obviously brought in Todorov, Callum Smith, Ricky Lammy, Scott Martin as well from Partick Thistle. Really good additions. I think that's just boosted them up, and it makes the game a bit easier for the young guys, because I've seen like Ricky Wall was on loan at Stirling last season, went into the Queen's Park team. Magnus McKenzie was just on loan at East Kilbride. It's a big step up from League Two. It's a big change. I think these guys are capable of holding their own, but when that sort of pressure's on their back, it's looked a bit difficult for Queen's Park. But now they've got that bit of experience, probably just to help out these younger guys. I think that'll be the best interest of everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
And now on to your club.
Yeah, Raith Rovers. I think we're just going to quickly put Raith Rovers into Dad's Army on this one.
Dad's Army, yeah.
One of the older squads in the league. Big fan, Richard Chin. He's shown some bright sparks this season. Lewis Gibson, the other younger player that signed up for next season, I'm a fan of as well. He's gone back to Montrose though to get some more game time. See how he gets on. But obviously the Raith Rovers squad is just a bit of an older squad.
It is, yeah, it is.
So not too much to say on them. Similar to Arbroath there, just built for the current, maybe more than the future. Let's move on to Ross County then.
Yeah, and they've got some interesting
squad. Yeah,
debated this one prior, because they've got Cornelius Henderson, Jay Henderson, Adam Emsley, Aaron Lyle on contracted to the club.
Lyle and Emsley both out on loan, obviously as well. Weren't really getting in the team to start the season,
but both really, I mean,
they're players I like.
Really good, yeah.
Technically,
fans of the pod here. Aaron Lyle, I think he's back at Morton. Adam Emsley scoring bucket loads of goals last season. So if Ross County, if they can stay up, I think they'd be looking to maybe rely on these players potentially next season. Dylan Smith as well, contracted to the summer, but brilliant player. So this is an interesting one. I think. Where are you thinking, Callum?
I think they squeak into 3.
Yeah,
potential assets more in there than anything. I think that's our first team. Yep, that's our first team into the third tier.
There you go.
For this one as well. So
Ross County might be joining them in the third tier.
Potentially. But there's some young talent in there. Maybe just need to sort of get to next season and see if they can sort of get Emsley and Lyle into the squad. Jay Henderson, someone they would have looked at for a while as well. He's been playing this season, but talented young players. Dean Cornelius as well.
Yes.
Followed us on TikTok this week as well, so good shout out to himself as well.
Dino.
Dino. Right, we'll move on to our final championship for now. Certainly the league leaders, St Johnstone, out of contract this summer. It's Fran Taylor Stephen. I'm not sure if either of them will be around for the next. Two really talented players, Taylor Stephen as well. I'm sure half the championship would be lining up to get him if he is available. Signed up for next season as well. Kai Fotheringham, Morgan Boys, Reece Mackler, Czech Diabate, Josh Fowler, Louis Lloyd. A lot of those players on that sort of 24 line as well. So not the youngest of players. I'm going to put them in tier 3 though, because there's big talent in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's no denying the quality of Fotheringham, Boys, Mackler, Diabate, Fowler, Lloyd. They're really good quality, but as you say, they're maybe just edging towards senior player. Well, they are probably senior players. So,
but also players we haven't seen play Premiership football. A lot of them as well. So we'll see how they catch on to that. So maybe they are young from that aspect, but tier 3 I think is fine for them. And it'll be interesting to see if St Johnstone do go up, especially Josh Fowler. I'd say it'd be really interesting to see how he takes to Premiership life.
Yeah. Well, he's hopefully not what he did against Raith Rovers. He's got that out of his system. Yeah, because he's got sheer talent, but that's possibly the biggest howler in Scottish football this season, would you say? Sam
Stanton smacking into Josh Fowler's face, yeah. Where I was stood as well, because I was filming at the other end. Did you see the sort of pyro display from the St Johnstone fans?
No.
Oh, well, I was showing my picture of what my view of it was at the end. I couldn't see past the halfway line because of smoke. St Johnstone fans had no clue what happened. Sam Stanton sort of running off, claiming a goal, but comical, to say the least.
But it's the context to that as well as the miss before it. I mean, it was a difficult one.
That was a save.
Was that a save?
Josh Ray saved that, yeah.
He got fingertips to it?
Yeah.
Oh,
brilliant save, yeah.
Fair enough then. But
still a miss. He should be bearing it, but he did really well to get across that, Josh, yeah.
Yeah, fair play. No, I didn't realise he'd actually got fingertips to it, which mitigates the embarrassment because to miss from that range and then
bonkers though.
To follow up by blocking what must be, for talking XG, must have been a 0.99.
I think that's over 1. That's like 1.5 XG.
It's wild. So, I mean, fantastic, great.
Oh, it's fun
good for the title race as well because the game finished 0-0 and
it's all about the clean sheet record, baby.
Exactly. But yeah, less said about that, the better for Josh Fowler. I'm sure he won't be doing that next season.
I'm sure he won't. Right, should we move on? Reece Mackler as well had a great season as well. He's not one that's 24, I think. So
scored against his former employers yesterday.
Yeah.
For St Johnstone against Ayr United, but that's just a bit of quality.
Yeah. Right, we'll move on to League One then, and we're going to start off with a team that are sort of in the, most certainly, I was going to say in the playoff race, they're probably going to finish in the playoffs. They're bang in the middle of the playoffs. Alloa Athletic having a great season as well. Not too many younger names on their list though for Alloa here, and I think we're going to slip them into the scraps. Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of odd when you consider, I think Alloa got quite a strong core of young players this season, but a lot of them on loan maybe from Rangers. And
the co-op agreement for Rangers to Alloa has been fruitful for them, really. Callum Barnside, Adamson, Josh Gentle's coming in scoring goals. That's been really good for them, but actual young players they own to fit into this category. Not the biggest list of names, but there's still enough in there, I think, to put them into 4.
Yeah, completely agree. Then on to Cove up to the East Coast. This is an interesting one. Not too many, shall we say.
No, I think they are an epitome of Dad's Army as well.
You
a lot of their older players they've got in there as well. So,
Darge Army.
Yeah, seeing as I think Cove Rangers are still relying on a lot of players that got them into the SPFL. Mitch Megginson and Fraser Fivey just retiring as recently as well.
Did he retire?
Fraser Fivey, hanging up his boots, unfortunately, injuries. Sad. But what a career he had. But yeah, we got the Aguilar brothers on here. Aaron Dodge, Mikey Milton. Yeah, not many players that are supplementing.
Yeah.
The few loanees have done well, but I think they're more reliant on Mitch Megginson and Chris Maguire and the likes. So
honestly, that's like SPFL All-Stars.
If we do it,
quality.
If we do an elder statesman version of this, the best old core, maybe Cove Rangers would do a bit better. But we'll quickly move on then to East Fife, who have been having a bit of a miserable time with things recently. Signed up for next season. They do have Jack Healy, a very talented winger. We're a fan of him. Matty Rollo as well, goalkeeper that's looked quite impressive. Destiny Oladipo not signed up for next season. He's came in. He's scored a few belters already since he's came in as well. One of these sort of wild card signings that Dick Campbell likes to make. But I think with Jack Healy in there, just enough to get them into scraps, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say so. That's a fair assessment. You've got some good quality, not a huge amount. So we'll give them scraps.
Another squad quite reliant on older players. Your Alan Troutons, Nathan Austin, Mikey McKenna to get those numbers, and there's a real stink about East Fife at this moment in time, and looking more likely they could get sucked into that playoff fight at the bottom of the table, which would be quite disastrous given their start to the season. But I think they've got just enough young talent. We'll get them into tier number 4.
Yeah, I like it. Then on to the Ackies. This is a team like Queen's Park, what a youth setup they've had over the years. But at current times, they've not got a huge amount of youth players. So this is a kind of difficult one. I don't know where we want to fall, what side of the line we want to go here.
Well, Hamilton still have their youth system. They've got their 20 set up as well, and I think the consensus is, as the season keeps going on, you'll probably see quite a few of them playing first team football. They still have a good 11 of more senior players. Stephen Bradley signed up for next season still. Ollie Shaw's actually under contract for next season as well. Doesn't fit into this. I didn't know if you knew that, but I realised that in my research. They've still got a couple of players. I think they've got enough.
Ollie Shaw?
It's like 27, maybe 26, 27 maybe. But I think Hamilton do get into potential assets because they've still got some young players in there that have done well. Josh Lane in particular, obviously at the centre of the Stranraer controversy, the Scottish Cup.
Proved his worth in that one game, but also sort of...
No, he wasn't in goal. It was Lyndon Tass that ended up in goal from Hearts, but he was the one that was recalled. Neil Stafford was having a spell at Forfar as well. A couple of decent goalkeepers. Stuart McKinstry. Stephen Bradley's still a talented player, of course, as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
But with their youth system in place as well, we'll be seeing some of those younger players. Hopefully a few names that we're more familiar with come the end of the season, but enough to get them into tier number 3, I think. And we'll jump on to the league leaders, Inverness Cali Thistle.
Yeah, they've a fantastic season. Spearheaded by a young teenager in Alfie Babbage, or is he 20? 19, 20?
19,
we'll just go with
that. No one's
go
going
teenager.
Sorry to Alfie Babbage.
But he doesn't quite fit the criteria here because he's on loan. However, the likelihood is
there's a good chance.
I would imagine they'll get promoted and he'll probably sign on at Inverness. Who knows? I'm not his agent, but
might as well be.
With that considered, I think Inverness they've got a good number of decent players. Only 2 contracted to next season, but Chanka Zimba, Remy Savage, very good players.
Oscar McIntyre as well, fullbacks, had a really good season, I think, as well. So, yeah, definitely young players in that squad that have been pressing. We'll give them the little asterisks of potential an Alfie Babbage return as well. So, I think that's enough to get them into potential assets, tier 3.
Yeah.
Take us to our next team, please.
Right, this is a particularly interesting one because this list is long, lengthy in comparison to a lot of others. Kelty Hearts.
Yes, a very young, one of the youngest squads in the SPFL. It's been a difficult season at the same time, but there's been a bit of a switch from Kelty where they've had some big name players in recent years. And
they had a big result yesterday as well, I think.
Big 0-0 draw, yeah.
I mean, it's against Inverness. I would take that as Ayr United couldn't do it.
True.
Kelty showing Ayr how it's done.
But we are purely ranking this on young players that they've got in their squad, and there's a lot of players to like. Brodie Patterson, a left back, midfield, Aaron Pettifer, Aaron Arnott, Dylan Core as well, was released by Morton and is permanently owned by Kelty Hearts now as well. Alex Ferguson, midfield. James Graham's had his moments in attack. I don't know if this team's going to stay up or get relegated. If they go down, they might want to keep a lot of these younger players and start building someone a bit bigger for the future, because they have sort of been held up by big name talented players. Certainly when they came into the SPFL, the Nathan Austins, Dylan Neesons of the world, but they've got this young sort of core of a squad now, don't they? So I think they get into ones to watch,
I would say, yeah, I think that's fair enough. I mean, Aaron Pettifer, I've spoken about him.
You're a big fan, yeah.
At the start of the season, I think I checked him as one to watch.
But it didn't quite work out from Arbroath. But in all fairness, the Arbroath squad have been flying this year, so.
Exactly. But my point here is that the fact that he's in with Kelty and contracted till the summer, but potentially after that, that's a great sign of their intent, because he's very, very tidy player. So alongside Brodie Patterson, Aaron Arnott, Dylan Core, as you say, that's a strong core.
Yeah, really young squad. So obviously might end this season in relegation for Kelty. We'll wait and see what happens there. But in terms of the young players they've been given opportunities to this year, I reckon a lot of them will be good SPFL players. Yeah, a less interesting one then will be Montrose up next, who are also the definition of Dad's Army here. 2 players under the age of 25 in their entire squad. Keir Bertie and Ewan Loudon, who's scored a brilliant goal.
Well,
Scorpion kick goal scorer, but
absolutely. Phenomenal player, Ewan Loudon, but he's doing a lot of heavy.
He'd have to do a lot of heavy lifting himself there. Montrose into Dad's Army, and we'll move on to Peterhead.
Yes, and this is a squad that we like. They've got some real good quality throughout, but also some good youth players as well. You get Kieran Shanks, Max Barry, Dylan Forrest, who we
the Daisy cutter expert,
Thiago Alcantara, regen. So yeah, I really like their youth options. They've only got 2 contracted past the summer, but you would assume that potentially Kieran Shanks.
They'd hope so, definitely.
Yeah.
What are you saying for this? Ones to watch or potential assets?
So for that reason, I quite like them for ones to watch, but I can maybe upper end of potential assets, lower end ones to watch. I'll let you.
They're right in the middle of 2 and 3 here, aren't they?
Yeah.
Should we just put them in 2?
Yeah.
We'll put them in 2. Ones to watch. You know, I'm a big Kieran Shanks fan. Max Barry is fantastic to watch. Dylan Forrest, goals like that. Bags of talent in the squad. They've got a solid goalkeeper, Jack Newman. I think they have more of them under contract. They've got the managers. The managers are under long-term contracts, which is important. Still players, not under 25, unfortunately, with their managers. But
young managers, so that can tip it.
We'll tip them
into the
ones to watch for Peterhead, and we'll see how their business goes this summer. Hopefully, Kieran Shanks is going to sign a contract a bit quicker this time around. Don't wait until like the night of their first League Cup game. Queen of the South up next. Also in the top 4. Been a bit of an up and down season. Form picked up a bit more recently, but a couple dodgy results, certainly in recent weeks coming into this podcast. But for next season, very importantly, they've got Kai Kennedy, Liam Smith, Jack Stott as well, all signed up. You know, I'm a big Liam Smith fan as well. He's someone that's really caught the eye this season. And Kai Kennedy's been getting decent numbers as well.
Exactly, yeah. Those 3 players that you've just name checked, the fact that they are contracted to next season is huge for them. So whether they're in League One or Championship, those 3 players will play significant parts. So for that reason, I think they have to go probably in ones to watch.
I think they're going to the second tier there. Yeah, very, very worthy place there, because whatever league they're in, maybe if they don't go up, if they've got a new manager in place next season, if Peter Murphy was to move on, there's only so many years Queen of the South can really stay in League One without going up. Those are the assets. No matter who's managing a team, that you'd look at Liam Smith, Kai Kennedy, you've got 2 flying wingers. That's a great place to start a squad off. So
yeah, exactly. And they've got obviously some other young players as well there. Taylor Charters, Jack Hanna, contracted too. So great options for them, I think.
Perfect, and we'll finish off League One with one of our favourite teams in League One.
Your second team?
Stenhouse Muir. I've been so impressed by Stenny until I've actually been able to see them play live. So looking for them to sign up for next season. One of our favourite players in League One, definitely Ross Taylor, who's been phenomenal. Great business to have him signed up. They've also got players like Gregor Buchanan signed up. Obviously doesn't fit this criteria, but young players. Ross Taylor still only like 22 years old, I think. Really got a player with a high ceiling, I think. Throughout the rest of their squad, Scott McGill's had a great season, not under contract for next season. Archie Graham's came onto his game in defence. Ollie Simpson's the other player signed up for next season. He's been sharing left-back duties with Kinley Billam, who's another young player out of contract. But lots of talent in here. I'm going to put them into ones to watch as well.
Yeah, I like that. Really, really good talented players here. And we discussed Ollie White's not even making it. But yeah, Scott McGill has been pulling the strings for them in midfield. And Archie Graham, really solid in defence. So yeah, well deserved.
Not one I expected, because I think Stanley are quite known for their experienced core. You know, Matty Aitkins, who's also signed up for next season.
Yep.
DJ in goal, Gregor Buchanan in front. Ross Meakin's had a great season as well. So you're looking at these core players, but what I think Gary Naismith's done a great job is supplementing that with young, talented players. Especially in the summer, things were maybe looking a bit ropey for them in terms of having 1 million players in on trial, but they've picked out quality from that lot, and those young players have been contributing, definitely.
Yeah, they certainly have.
Right, League 2 time.
League 2 and to the southwest of Scotland. We'll go Annan, shall we?
Yeah, Annan, one player signed up for next season, Aidan Smith. Otherwise, they've got a few younger players in the periphery of their squad, a few older players. They've had that sort of blend this season. Where do you think Annan's going to jump in here?
I think we could probably put them 3 or 4. Will we go be generous, give them a 3?
3's getting quite busy.
Yeah, we'll
put them in 4. I think we'll put them in 4 in scraps.
They've only got 1 contracted to 2027. They've got quite a few young players. Paul Smith, ex-Ayr United, good player in midfield. Cammy Bryson, Gio Clark, Charlie Maxwell. But yeah, I think with that in mind, we'll We'll go for scraps, shall we?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
A bit harsh, but
no, I'm fine with that.
They've been having a good time of late, Annan, so
we'll
wouldn't mind too much.
We'll move on to Clyde then, a team that have been definitely on the periphery of the title race this season as well. And I actually saw them play Stirling Albion just last week as well, 3-0 win there. Followed that up, 5-0 win against Edinburgh City. Did lose out to East Kilbride this weekend, but that might just make it a bit difficult for them to catch up that title race. But they're right there, they're in and about it as well, just on the periphery though, really. But a lot of young players in the squad as well. Marley Redfern, a player that he's been a great player, I think, in the SPFL in terms of the talent he's got for a League 2 level, most certainly. Someone that's really impressive. And someone that caught my eye when I saw him play live was Logan Dunnicky, the size of him. Absolute unit at the back. Jay Hogarth in goal as well. Carl Connell's a talented player. He's got for nothing more than his long throw, if you want, as well. The striker was at Rafe Rovers. Very, very sexy at this moment in time. But with the likes of Logan Dunnicky at the back, Jay Hogarth in goal, they want to keep them about, definitely. Marley Redfern signed up. I'm going to put them in to the second tier here as well. Clyde having a great season, and a lot of these young players really contributing. It's been great to see.
Yeah, I think that's hard to argue. They've had a great run of it of late, and a lot of these players have played a key role, as you said there. So, yeah, I think that's fair enough.
I'm happy with that. We'll move on to the bottom two in the league here.
The Suns.
Yeah.
Dumbarton having a difficult time of it, but they still
they're scrapping.
They are scrapping. Managing to keep the distance between them and Edinburgh City.
A point at this moment in time, but
2.
Is it 2?
I think it may be 2. So who knows? They might still do it. We've discussed Ollie Eckerpont and Scott Tomlinson, but on loan to Ayr United or from Ayr United. So not a huge amount other than that. They've got 5 or 6 players there contracted till the summer. Scott Honeyman, Jack Duncan, Christian Webster, all decent players contributing. Kai Kirkpatrick, however, the only player contracted to 2027. So Dumbarton maybe in a sticky situation just now. They're just not sure where they'll be, and relying on a couple of loan signings. I think we put
them in scraps.
I think scraps.
Yeah.
Scrapping in 9th and scrapping
there, yeah. Scott Honeyman's got something about him. He's a player I've enjoyed watching, but out of contract this summer. Saw him playing in the London League before. He's definitely got some talent. Kai Kirkpatrick, solid player as well, but the only one signed up for next season. And we'll move on to East Kilbride. I think we're expecting to see a few more names in here.
I'm really surprised.
But they are one that's supplemented by a lot of loans, and the loans obviously aren't getting in on this. So Jackson Milcrease just signed up for them. It was a good addition. Jamie Hamilton. John Robertson, João Balde, still just about fitting this, 24 years old.
I thought John Robertson was 29. I'm shocked he's 24.
24, yeah.
But in terms of, the quality he has, João Balde as well. This is an interesting one. Not a huge amount.
But I think given where East Kilbride are, the money that they've... Well, that's maybe unfair to say, I don't know. But you'd maybe expect some of the bigger names they've had drop down, that there'd be a few younger names in there. But obviously, it really is the loans that have supplemented them here. I think we put East K into scraps here.
Go for it. Yeah.
Which is a bit harsh, but... I wouldn't really say John Robertson's a youngster, or João Balde, and not under contract for next season as well, from what I can see, most certainly. So, I think
that is fair enough.
Jamie Hamilton, another one, probably about 24 as well. So, Jackson Milcrease, good piece potentially as well, but obviously these loans maybe hurts them a little bit. But a team up next that is full of young players and is bang in the middle of this criteria is Edinburgh City.
They've got Malik Zaid, for example. You're a huge fan, possibly his number 1 fan.
That guy's dribbling and technique is just out of this world.
Yeah, Ennis Lawson having a good time of late.
Silky player as well.
They've got Tiwi Daramola as well. We've spoken about him.
Bit of a forgotten man this season with his injury, but he's still there at Edinburgh City, and they stay in the SPFL next season. They'll want to keep him around. But I think the main selling point for Edinburgh City is they're clearly a club that talented young players want to go to, and for that I'm going to put them into tier 1.
I agree.
Don't think you can argue that. Yeah, that would be our first edition since Partick Thistle there. But with players like Zaid, Lawson, I think Michael McAdoo might have said he's got a championship squad in the waiting, which might have been it's high praise, but I like the confidence with it.
Yeah.
But guys like Malik Zaid, Ennis Lawson, guys that will be looking up. Quinn Mitchell's had a good season. Even Callum Brodie, one of the young players, came through the system there, I believe. These are all guys that can look up the way, and they've had a real opportunity to go and play. It's been really difficult recently, I think. I'm not sure if it's just a bit of a mental block getting off bottom of the table, perhaps, for them. But if they can do it and stay up, they've had the points of a team that would be around the playoffs obviously this year.
Yeah.
They definitely have their flaws defensively, but talented attacking players. Yeah, go right into tier 1.
That's what I think. They've conceded over 50 goals in the league this season. So worrying times for Edinburgh City, but we think I think they'll be safe in the end. But great young players, and certainly a good place for young players to develop. So
jumping next to Elgin then, another quite young squad here. They've got Tom Ritchie signed up for next season. Mateus Mercado actually signed up to 2028 according to his transfer market. So apologies if that's wrong, but the Brazilian there, I love to see Brazilian playing in Scottish football. Very Joga Bonito. Otherwise, players out of contract this summer. Josh Walker. I think they've got enough to get them into potential assets.
Yeah,
tier 3 here for Elgin.
Yeah. Some good players there.
And Forfar Athletic then up next. Only 3 players actually under the age of 25 here for Forfar, so I think they're going to be a dad's army.
The dad's army, yeah. Tyler Pasnick, the only player signed up till 2027. I think unfortunately for them, dad's army.
Yeah, a lot of pressure there. If not Tyler Pasnick to lift his team up a bit like Ewan Loudon. Onto the Spartans up next then. Another squad full of experienced players, really strong SPFL quality throughout the squad, but they do have some youngsters. Murray Aitken, People's finest football player. Him, Ethan Drysdale, fullbacks, decent young talents in there. I think they probably get into scraps. There's not a huge amount going on in terms of young players, but another one that have been building a squad for the here and now.
Exactly. No, I agree with that. Then on to Stirling. Callum, you know a lot about this team, watching them.
Yes,
weekly.
Stirling Albion. I've been quite lucky with the fixture schedule, not clashing with Rafe. So I've gone down to fourth bank a fair bit. A lot of young players that have been getting trusted. Quite a few loanees in there as well. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how many of those young players are really making big tangible contributions to the team. Corey Thompson, a useful player to have from Celtic. He can come off the bench as well at times and have a little bright spark in there. But looking through the rest, Mackenzie Cass, I think he's been really decent, but they do have a lot of names here. But as I said, I don't think a huge amount of solid contributions are coming in from these young guys at this moment in time, unfortunately, and Starling relying still on some of their more sort of trusted, experienced names. I'm going to put Starling in scraps here.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of youngsters, but as I say, they've got to be making a bit more of a contribution, I think.
The list is deceiving. You do look at that and think, wow.
Yeah.
It's,
but Mackenzie Cass, Corey Thompson, could possibly get them into the third tier. Maybe that's me being a little bit harsh, but yeah I'm going to put scraps for now.
I think scraps is fair enough. And then on to Stranraer.
You've been waiting for this one to finish us off in style.
There's only one answer for this one. Stranraer, team full of young players and playing with freedom and ability and flying now. Unfortunately stuttered yesterday, picked up their first loss in the league in quite a while. But they've got Aaron Quigg, Kirk McKnight, Lewis Reid, for example.
Big fan.
Talk about him, Callum.
Yeah. Oh, well, Lewis Reid is a big, strong centre-back, shaved head, stylish guy, in terms of how he plays, in terms of being a centre-back. I think he's been brilliant. You look at Scott Ruffell talking about before as well, player that came in from Beef Juniors in the summer. A lot of the players came in from the west of Scotland. A lot of question marks over Stranraer, but clearly they've shown that they're a really, really good team, possibly our favourites. Might even be looking at promotion. They lost Scott Ruff. He's moved to Crusaders. Across the channel, so but that's a brilliant move for him, and to go from playing the West of Scotland division, having to probably show that sign of faith to be like, I'm going to make this move to the SPL to showcase what I can do more than anything, because we've spoken about the West of Scotland division before, bags of talent in that league, in those leagues, but a lot of young players that maybe they're getting offered a better wage at the West of Scotland to play there, big crowds as well, big teams, but he was someone, Scott Ruff, that's made that move to League Two, showcase what he can do and get a really good, well-earned move, and credit to him. Lewis Reid, he'll be another one on the full-time radar. Chris Aiken had a chat actually on the terrace a couple months ago as well. It was interesting to hear what he had to say on it, and that's kind of what he was saying. He was like, he's aware that he doesn't want these guys to be sat around with Stranraer badges on, in a couple of years' time. He loves the club, but it can be somewhere other players will look at them and say, this is somewhere where I can come, this is where I can showcase what I could do and kick on. And you look at Lewis Reid, I think he'll be the next one to do that, looking at a full-time move. You could run through all these names on here. James Dolan, Finneck, one of the player you're a fan of course, former United, but bags of talent here, and a comfortable spot. Number one, Ryan Edgar, didn't even say his name there.
I know, not sure how much he's been sort of starting of late, but great talent, about 19, 20 years old. James Dolan, Daniel McManus. These are really good footballers. Done as well, contributing to the Stranraer cause of late. So they absolutely go in the top tier.
Top tier. Happy to have them there. Don Plank on loan from Hearts as well. They're just showing it's a great place to go and showcase what you can do and kick on. And I'd love to see Stranraer get promoted.
Matthew Gillis as well. On loan from Hearts B. Not even on the list for that reason. So a team sort of powered by young players.
Well, I think we've got a nice mix here. Anyone that's watching the visuals of this will be able to see the tier list on screen, but we've got 4 teams in Tier 1, Dunfermline, Partick Thistle, Edinburgh City and Stranraer. I won't run through the rest because there's 26 more teams. It might take a while, but Fraser, I'm happy with this list.
I like it.
And I think the main thing we're trying to showcase here, that's a lot of young talent
there is.
Showing them what they can do in Scottish football.
Yeah, Scottish football's sort of got a little bit of a bad rap of late for not a lot of young players getting the chance, but that's one of the great things about the lower leagues. We watch the lower leagues, you go and see Stirling, you get to see a lot of these players that are on loan from Premiership teams, and they're fantastic. So a couple of teams maybe looking to maybe add a little bit more youth to their squad, but teams like Edinburgh City, Stranraer, Partick, Dunfermline, putting a lot of faith in young players is great to see. So.
Yeah, I think, as you said, maybe a bit of a bad rap, but go down and watch if you don't do it already, maybe people that listen to this podcast might be like-minded already, but go and watch one of your local teams if they're in League 1, League 2, even the Lowland League as well.
Exactly.
Bags of talent there. Watch out for some of the players playing there, because there are some players who can really look to kick on as well, and I've enjoyed going through them all. Yeah, no,
there's something really good fun about if you go and watch these teams and just try to pick a player and think, right, is that a player that can make the step up or will make the step up, and then you can say to your pals, I saw him play.
Yeah, because you can listen to as many podcasts as you want, watch highlight reels. Best thing to do is go and watch these guys play.
Exactly.
And you'll never know who you'll see. So.
And then if you do that, you can go and see and think, Fraser and Callum are clueless, man.
Clueless.
What have they been talking about?
I know, prove us wrong. I'm more than happy. Any feedback, let us know. Any young players we should be looking out for as well, we've not actually touched on much, let us know too.
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
So, Fraser, we're not doing any challenges today. It's going to be a bit of a shorter episode.
Yeah.
We've got a few from previous ones we need to actually catch up on the editing side of. So we're going to do that, but we'll be back pretty soon as well for another episode. But I've enjoyed this one today.
Exactly. It's a Joga Bonito condensed
Joga Bonita.
Love it.
But had a great time as ever, and we'll be back very soon.
We will. We shall be.
Right, thank you for listening, everyone. Enjoy your week.
Joga Bonito is finito.
Finito.